Hello everybody. Today we are going to look into how a CRM evaluation can be done in 3 steps. So let's go. There's a 3-step process for a CRM evaluation. So at the beginning you might have already a CRM system or no CRM system and just a couple of different systems and broken processes which are all over your head. And at the end you see that you've got one centralized system to take care of these business processes, and that is basically your goal. So let's look into the first thing already, because we're there already, the goals or objectives. Usually, if you decide that you need a software, you've got a reason why you came up with this decision. Maybe the reason is at the moment you don't have a CRM system, you're getting more and more requests, and you're working with a couple of people on the same data, you're sending back and forth emails, you're storing something in files that get overwritten by the other person and so on. So the whole system is just very messy. One goal could be we've got those 7 different business processes. They should work flawlessly. I never want to have any leads dropping through the cracks anymore by the end of this summer, for instance. So then you've got very smart goals that you can work against. Additionally, these kind of translate into your requirements, like I require better processes in marketing or better process in sales or something. It's important that you identify those goals. Of course, it works as well to set up a CRM system without those goals, but then you don't really know in which direction you're working. So you have the process or you have the CRM set up, and then you do a couple of processes there and it all looks good, but did you accomplish your goals? Not sure, because there were none, so therefore you always accomplished all the goals or none at all. So better to have some clear goals, and then you can see what you have to do. You can break down the process of into milestones or whatever in order to work towards those goals. One more important thing here is identify those goals together with the stakeholders. So unfortunately, I had a couple of projects where maybe the IT decided on goals which have been very, very far away from the goals of marketing and sales department. And then the IT came up with great solutions for their goals, established the software, and marketing and sales have been completely estranged. Like, what should we do? This system is completely useless. So therefore, try to work as a group together. Overall, it is the business processes that you're after, so it doesn't stop at like departments. Usually business processes float with their data and integration over or across multiple departments. So kind of everybody is responsible in your company to deliver a great experience for your customers. So therefore, talk together and work together. Next thing is creating a scoring matrix. So now you have your goals set up and you've got a clear like priorities on those goals. Now it's possible to look into the details. And how would you do this? So you would list all your requirements and don't forget the non-functional requirements. The functional means like, oh, I've got those fancy features that I definitely want to do. I want to create like newsletter campaigns and I want to set up email templates and I want to have automatic replies and so on. But there's more to software. Maybe you've got like duplicate prevention, validators for clear data, or you need to have some mobile options for your CRM system or similar. So therefore, there are plenty of different requirements that you can have that are not obviously right away. Research and shortlist a CRM that fits your budget, company, industry. So here, maybe you already have a couple of CRM systems in mind. There are the big ones that everybody knows. There are the big expensive ones and the big cheaper ones that everybody knows. And then there may be some outliers, some smaller ones, and then there are some industry-specific ones. I put this here separately. I really caution against this usually. So if you have like very, very specific reason to do so, you can do this. Go with an industry-specific vendor for a CRM system. Usually those CRM systems are worse. A couple of my projects that I usually get, they have already a specific industry CRM system. It's really not good at all. And now they want to get out of there. They want to move their data and processes out into a general CRM system. and have better processes there. Usually the general CRM systems are way better. And now you've got a list of all your requirements, and now you can weight those. Let's look into how this could look like. So here we've got a software evaluation sheet. Let's start with the left-hand side. So I guess you all know HubSpot, maybe Zoho One, and SuiteCRM if you watch my SuiteCRM videos. These are just very common CRM systems, at least the two first ones here, which are often used in many projects as well. And I often do SuiteCRM as well because it's like a little bit of a special CRM system in the open source CRM system realm, and therefore it performs very well in this particular setup. Then you usually have some, I've got some German stuff inside, general requirements, technical requirements, and so on. So you will try to list this, maybe group this, and this list can go as long as, I think I've seen 300, 400, 500 items here on lists like this. And then you would either get a consultant to help you, because a very experienced consultant. So for instance, for me, it would be very easy because most of my projects are with Zoho One and SuiteCRM to fill this out right away. I don't need much time on this one. For others, if there's like some specific CRM systems, then I would need longer. So how to do this? You would really go into the details, look at the vendor's website, look at exactly into this feature description. If they don't have it in the documentation, then you might want to call them and set up a call for all the open questions. So what do you do here? Let's just look into a few to be brief and short here. So reports should be possible. There are some CRM systems which don't support reports. So those ad hoc reports are really powerful and help you to analyze your data, what's happening here. So Zoho One has a powerful, more or less new, it's a couple of months, 1 year old, reworked report dashboard inside the CRM system. So analytics is something different. So if you look into this one, Zoho One includes Zoho Analytics, and therefore you've got the whole Power BI alternative here already. So therefore, no problem at all. I can give this a 3 out of 3. Whereas SuiteCRM, it really can take you far with all the inbuilt reports. It's amazing what you can get out of it. But there are some limitations. What I usually do is I take an external BI and then integrate this external BI with a database that we have there. So we've got real-time insights into the data into your database. So therefore only a 2, because it can't go as far as Zoho with the reports, but it can do a lot. And for most of the projects, it's totally sufficient. So what to do in this case? You might want to ask specific questions. And then if you're getting into like data warehousey kind of questions, like if you have like, maybe you heard about the star schema, where you have to have different tables and pre-calculate some details, and then with Zoho One you might cut further than with SuiteCRM, but this one is something that you should specify. Though you would simply add another row here and then star schema like reports. So, and here in Zoho Analytics it's possible, but time consuming, so therefore I would give it maybe a 2 out of 3. And here unfortunately we're at the limit. You would need to find another software which works fairly easily with SuiteCRM, because you've got your database accessible, which you don't have again with Zoho. So therefore, it all has some pros and cons, and therefore you must carefully weight this. Speaking about weighing those pros and cons, you can use a prioritization method, which is called Moscow. It's called must, could, should, and won't, which if you know it in advance, you don't even have to add it here. But it could be that you add some features here to this list. You figure out that these features are way too expensive and therefore just place it as won't. And then you've got the Moscow acronym, which helps you to set up the priority whether you really have to have something. What you can do additionally, and that's what I moved out of the picture here a little bit, is You can have weighted priorities. So if the numbers are very close together and you can't still make a clear choice based on those numbers only, you can basically leverage those numbers and multiply the important ones by 3, by 5, by 50 or whatever. It depends on how important is it for you. And then sooner or later you will have some clear winners over some others. So it would be easier to distinguish those here compared to them. But this is just an idea which usually doesn't have to be if your list is getting longer and longer. So then you've got general requirements, and then you've got technical requirements. You should look into this one here, for instance, API interface. If your CRM of choice or the shortlisted one doesn't support API, drop it right away, unless you've got like very, very specific reasons to keep this one, because nowadays, as I mentioned before, business processes are floating with their data over the systems that you have in your company. There are no silos where you have to copy and paste or print out something and re-enter it. This should not happen. This has not any right to exist anymore. It's 2025, so therefore just cancel it from the shortlist. Therefore, HubSpot Zoho 1, and I gave Suite CRM, which can entirely do the API with everything, but the documentation is just not there. And then there are some specific details where it's a bit more complicated or doesn't work with the version 8 API because of the documents upload or something. So therefore, there are some specifics which don't work here. Again, if you need those specifics, add another rouse and list out those very specifics in order to answer those questions. Sometimes you can answer questions as well, like here, is there a Teams integration? So that's a bit special. How does the integration need to look like? And there, often you don't have some development option, but you just take whatever the vendor has prepared for you, and then it makes sense to just have somebody who has to work with it look at it later on. And then you continue, and maybe you're summarizing all the groups, and then you do like a sum over all, and then you figure out, okay, this is performing way better. And this can really, really change a lot depending on your requirements and where you put your focus. If you want to have a standard B2B without any fancy bells and whistles and stuff like this CRM system, maybe Suite CRM will already be your winner. If you add something with pricing here, maybe, and so on. Maybe if you add something, I need a complete suite of business applications, maybe Zoho 1 will be your winner, and so on. So you see, this process or this whole preparation should be done with marketing, with sales, with customer service, production, with business analysts together, because they all might have stakes inside your CRM data or in the CRM itself. And therefore, they all should have a say in this one. And then afterwards, you will have some decisions based on numbers. And therefore, you can now say with confidence, okay, we checked many, many details, and this one seems to be our best option. And maybe you can even look into the number 2, number 3 as well, if you have listed multiple options. Sometimes it happens that you maybe are a little bit misaligned in those meetings where you do the requirement engineering. Maybe you're not completely certain on how it needs to look like. Maybe you're not completely certain of whether you can customize it to your needs or whether you just need to take what the vendor has in place for you. And then in those cases, it makes sense to start with a proof of concept, do a test. So you can use trials, a demo version, and maybe you want to have something like an MVP of this little feature, and then you can demonstrate it. Does it work for you? Does it not work for you? And as you can see, this process here can potentially take several days, weeks, months, seldom, but it could be. And in some cases, it makes really a lot of sense, because think about it. If you're just like starting out and you've got like a 2-people company and you're growing a little bit and you might continue to grow slowly and you've got those standard process, then you can just mostly quickly check it within a couple of hours with an external consultant, maybe with some help, and then you will get the information of, yeah, this is good for you, but you can do this one as well. And then you choose by price or by the look of things. And this might get you over the next couple of years and everything should be fine. But there are bigger companies, if you have like a 500, 1,000, 8,000 people organization, where you have to thoroughly go through all the details, and there are many involved participants and applications that all need to be integrated and so on. So therefore it's a way different procedure. Here it takes much longer, but therefore most likely your CRM system plus implementation will be much more expensive, and therefore it again makes sense to spend more time up front on the evaluation, make this correct, do your due diligence, and then you figured out this is really the right system for us, given if it's implemented and really working in the defined and required ways. So these were basically already the 3 steps that you should be going through in order to find the right CRM system for you. There's one more thing, which is not really a step, but a couple of ideas. So maybe you have further rating criteria, which could all come in handy. Maybe you pay special attention to the user experience. If your users are working with a CRM system, needs to be from the mornings till the evenings and mobile and so on. So this one could be special. How about support, community? Do you need this very frequently or not at all? Security, are you working like a special space where you need to host your own data on your own data privacy required servers or something? Maintainability, how does this work? Do you sometimes have to switch it off to upgrade or similar? Do you have changes by the vendor of the API? Do they deprecate something and just let you know, oh, next month this doesn't work anymore, and you have to completely drop everything? So happened before in some projects before. Scalability, so yes, it might work this year, but does it work in 3 years with like millions of records as well? So think long term. Flexibility, reliability, all those non-functional requirements, those ET requirements, where you have to really think about the whole impact that the CRM system has onto your business processes, inside your business culture as well. And try to get this right as well, because it's not only the nice features which look fancy, but in the long run, it's the day-to-day task which should just be with a decent user experience and, of course, working flawlessly. Now we're through with this one, so do this carefully depending on the size of your organization. If you need any help, let me know and I can help you with a CRM evaluation as well. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.